you are. Welcome back to Museum of America's Combat Helmets of the 20th Century. Let's get a move on because we've got some ground to cover. Friends, the faraway land of France has provided us with many gifts besides just liberty, fraternity, and equality. They've also given us French bread, French fries, French lingerie, and Juliette Binoche. In addition to all of that, they also gave the world the first true modern combat helmet. Here it is. The French Model 1915 of World War I, also known as the Adrian Helmet. The French armed forces appeared on the field in the opening year of the Great War, uniformed much as they had been 50 years earlier. I gotta tell you, pomp and prettiness by the yard, but very little functionality, either in personal protection or concealment. French soldiers, like their British counterparts, entered the war with cloth caps as their only headgear. The obvious shortcomings of this became quickly apparent to these French soldiers. It was French General Adrian who developed the first rudimentary head protection. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a good picture of General Adrian, so instead I'm going to insert pictures of Kirk Douglas in that fantastic Stanley Kubrick film, Paths of Glory.
Allons enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. Contre nous de la tyrannie, l'étendard sanglant élevé.
General Adrian designed a close-fitting steel bowl that was worn underneath the soldier's cloth kepi, his cap. Adrian went on to develop a more elaborate and effective helmet patterned after the French firefighter's helmet of the era. Here it is in all of its splendor, perhaps my favorite helmet in the collection, the French 1915 artilleryman's helmet. General Adrian's new helmet proved very popular with the French soldiers. They loved the way they looked in it, and apparently, so did the mademoiselles. For as popular as the helmet was among the troops, it's really, ballistically, not that good a helmet. Manufactured in 4 separate parts, each seam and each rivet represents a weak point in this helmet. These are definitely not bulletproof, but they will protect the soldier against splinters and debris. Now the comb, or the crest, on the top of the helmet, that's more than just decorative. It also provides a rainproof cover for the ventilator. That's going to provide a little bit of passage of air through this tight-fitting helmet, as will the corrugated spacers between the shell and the liner. The liner itself is a pretty simple affair. Leather and wool suspended in the helmet. Now you can see there's not a great deal of space between the shell of the helmet and the skull of the wearer. This isn't going to take much impact before it damages the head of the person who's wearing it. This is the distinctive insignia of the artillery. Crossed cannons, flaming bomb, RF4 Republic of France. This brass plate is known as a veteran's plate, and it commemorates the service of the wearer who served in the Great War, as indicated by the inscription on the front. The Adrian design will continue to soldier on well after World War I. This is the French Model 1926, used during the Second World War. Still the same distinctive Adrian design, the crest on the front, but notice this time it's one-piece construction on the shell. There's no seam along here. Also, the materials have been upgraded. This is much stronger steel and a much more effective liner. General Adrian's classic helmet design will be used in other countries as well. Siam, Nationalist China, Belgium, and here, Peru. It's a design that also influenced the Italian helmet. This Lippmann helmet, also from World War I, is a distinctly Adrian in-profile helmet and also a sobering reminder that these helmets were not bulletproof. This is the Soviet M36 of the World War II era, and you can sort of see that Adrian profile here, including the little crest at the top. Here's a real cool helmet story. This is my Italian 1915-1916 helmet of World War I. Obviously it's an Adrian design. This has seen a lot of service. It starts out in World War I and it ends up, as we can tell by the Spanish phalangist symbol on the front, ends up in the Spanish Civil War. Now in between, I notice a name in the liner, Mario Fortaleone. Okay. Well, I profiled this helmet in my blog about a year ago. 2 months ago, I get an email from a gentleman in Italy, last name Fortaleone, says that his grandfather was Mario Fortaleone and may have been the man who wore this helmet as a young soldier in northern Africa during Italy's 1936 war on that continent. Same guy, I don't know. But it is a cool story, and it's a very tangible reminder of what's so interesting about collecting helmets. They're more than just hardware. They're a tangible link to the soldiers who wore them. Well, that wraps up our exploration of the Adrian helmet of World War I and beyond. Tune in another time as we continue to look at combat helmets of the 20th century.